What other truck can do this? A third gear burnout in a 700 horse. How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to show you exactly what it's like to drive the all-new Ford Raptor R. Finally, Ford has put a V8 back in their F-150 Raptor, and they've gone all out using the motor from the Shelby GT500. So under the hood is a 5.2 liter supercharged V8 making 700 horsepower and 640 pound-feet of torque. You can tell some differences from the standard Raptor, although there's not a lot of them. We've got the little code orange R badge there. We've got code orange tow hooks right there. This has got the optional graphics package, which says supercharged V8, a bunch of little 8s there, different hood bulge as well with extra airflow. This thing comes standard on 37-inch tires. The V6 Raptor comes stock on 35-inch tires, although you can upgrade them to 37s from the factory. Get a load of these pretty beefy all-terrain tires. Now, we've also got slightly upgraded suspension to deal with the extra weight caused by the V8. A little bit more ground clearance as well, and a nice electronic dampening system. Strengthened front axle and strengthened front drive shaft as well. Coming around to the rear of the Raptor, we've got that dual exhaust. I kind of wish it had a quad exhaust to symbolize the fact that it had a V8, but it still looks cool nonetheless. We've got a large 5.5-foot bed. If we click this button here, the tailgate drops down. And we've actually got a couple of unique features here. We've got a metric and standard ruler for measuring things out on the job. If you click this, out pops a nice footrest, and you've also got a little handle as well, so you can climb up in the back of the truck. Let's go ahead and hop inside the F-150 Raptor now. Get a load of the door trim. Nice carbon fiber. We've got the upgraded Bang & Olufsen sound system that actually sounds fantastic. Nice Alcantara and leather seats from Recaro. Hopping on inside, you'll notice a gorgeous leather-wrapped steering wheel, nice code orange accent at the top. Paddles mounted behind that are connected to the 10-speed automatic transmission. We've got a 12-inch multimedia display here. Touchscreen, really easy to use, although I will say I wish the graphics were a little bit cooler. It's kind of a lot of grays and blues. More carbon fiber right there. Get a load of the seats again. We've got a massive panoramic sunroof. Some controls up here that you can hook up to aftermarket lights, so on and so forth. Now check this out right here. You'll notice the gear lever is down like this. It's got a little button here where you can fold it upwards or back downwards. So why would you want it folded down? Well, when you're stopped on the job site and you want to get some work done, you can actually fold this out into a perfectly flat table. Eat some lunch, get some work done. I think that's pretty cool. Now, another little neat feature is, if we look down to the left of the steering wheel, you can control the distance of the pedals using this electronic controller right there. Now, to go ahead and start up that massive V8, click the start-stop button right here. Let's go ahead and pull this back up. We've also got a nice wireless charging unit right here. I like that it's tilted upwards. That way, if you have Apple Maps or something on the screen, you can actually see it on your phone. Different charging ports as well. All right, let's take this thing out on the road and see what it's like to drive. All right, guys, behind the wheel of the Raptor R for some light off-roading to show you all of the different drive modes and what it's actually like behind the wheel. So to the right of the steering wheel is the drive mode selector. Not only can you choose between different drive modes, you can also choose between 2 high, 4 high, 4 auto, and 4 low. One big advantage of this over the TRX is you can actually put it in rear-wheel drive mode, which the TRX you can't. Right now I'm in off-road mode, which has this really cool screen. Now it says off-road use only. You're not supposed to use this on the road because it's a bit distracting. But if you're going up a really steep incline, you can use this frontal camera to actually see up and over the hill. Super helpful when I use that off-roading with the Bronco Raptor. But let's go ahead and pick up the pace a bit. This thing rides over bumps so well, it's actually hilarious. That V8 sounds so incredible. The third generation and second generation Raptor were amazing trucks, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not in love with the way the EcoBoost V6 sounds. but this thing is just absolutely ridiculous. Got some muddier terrain. Let's check out all the different driving modes right now, shall we? So we are in off-road mode. There is also Baja mode for high-speed off-roading. Then there is rock crawl mode for really slow speed stuff. Let's go ahead and go over this steep area here using rock crawl mode. So it's going to shift into 4 low right now, going through this muddy area. We've got tons of ground clearance, more than the standard Raptor, but the same as the Raptor 37. So see right here, I can't really see over the hood of the Raptor, but with this camera, you can extremely easily see if there's a rock in the way or there's a big cliff. Super, super helpful. Slowly make it over. Light work. Now, not quite so sure about that one up there. I can't believe somebody actually tried that. That is ridiculous. In terms of a daily driver, this thing is incredibly comfortable, despite the fact that it has massive 37-inch tires, 700 horsepower, and look, we got a fellow off-road buddy, and is incredibly off-road capable. It actually is really comfortable for everyday driving. Once again, I can't really see in front of me. Potentially, it could be a 10-foot drop, but you can see right here that the coast is clear. The vast majority of people, at least in the Southern California area, buying these are probably not even going to take them off-road whatsoever. So it is relevant how it performs in an on-road scenario, and I'm pleased to report that it is a fantastic vehicle. Now, we've got lane keep assist, which is pretty cool. If you activate the active cruise control, it's not gonna work right here because we're not on a highway or it doesn't have lanes. But if you click this button right here, it actually can not only slow itself down and speed itself up, it also, look at all the mud just shooting out of the tires right now. It also can steer, kind of like a Tesla. You gotta keep your hands on the wheel, otherwise it freaks out on you, but it's nice to be able to do that if you're in traffic and just wanna kind of have a more peaceful driving experience. We're on the freeway now, and how cool is this? Tap the cruise control button twice, and look at this. It has self-driving, where it can actually maintain itself in the lanes. We've got this little logo here letting us know that it's active. Now, it does want us to maintain our hands on the steering wheel, but just for demonstration purposes, I'll show, look, we're going around the turn. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, put my hands back on. One thing I do like about this, now it's not quite as good as Tesla's autopilot, if I'm being honest, but something I like more about this car's self-driving than Tesla's is, when it tells you to put your hands on the wheels and you just shake the steering wheel a little bit, it doesn't kick it out of the lane keep assist. You can actually fully steer the car and then let go and it'll go back into self-driving. Whereas if you were to turn it that far in the Tesla, it would pop it out of autopilot and you'd have to enter it once again. Somewhat a little bit of road noise on the freeway. This is actually a kind of a noisy freeway, but on 37s going 60 miles an hour, I think it's pretty quiet in here. To launch the TRX, just put it into sport mode, floor the brake, floor the gas, and off we go. 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. I mean, this thing is violently fast. It is actually ridiculous to get that level of acceleration from a truck. And with that all-wheel drive system, there's literally no drama. It just takes off. Even in the slightly damp, this thing hooks up incredibly well. Overall, I think I'd have to take this over the Ram TRX. It just feels a little bit more special. I will say the TRX has nicer graphics for the display. The exhaust stock for stock on the TRX sounds a little bit better. But man, just think of all the modification potential with this thing because it's got that GT500 powertrain. Smaller pulleys, tunes, exhaust. You could go crazy just from the performance standpoint. And then of course, you've got 3 generations worth of aftermarket part development on the Raptors. So if you want to do a mid-travel suspension kit, beef things up a bit and go crazy, you absolutely can. And then you've got that insane 5.2 liter supercharged V8. And I love the fact that despite it has crazy powertrain, it can actually still tow things. It's actually still somewhat practical. I love that workbench and I love how comfortable the seats are. We'll go back a little more off-roading. Nice puddle. All right, one of my favorite parts about the truck, look at that. Well, we have gotten the camera completely blocked. So there you go, there's a slight downside. It doesn't have a self-cleaning camera, so if you do that, you can't really see anything. But if we go ahead and put it into 2 high, something that the TRX can't do, 4-wheel drive shift in progress, you press and hold for advanced track off. Because the Raptor R has no weight in the rear, because it's a truck and truck beds don't weigh as much as, you know, if this was a massive SUV in the back, it steps out so easily, it's actually hilarious. So we'll put it into manual mode. We've got a 10-speed automatic gearbox with paddles mounted on the steering wheel. I will say downshifts lag a little bit compared to maybe what you'd expect having these beefy paddles. It's not the 7-speed DCT like you get in the GT500, but you know what? It does still shift nicely, and I imagine the 10-speed gets significantly better fuel economy than the 7-speed. Although, if you look right here, I've averaged a really impressive 9.5 miles per gallon. I don't think you'd buy a 700 horsepower truck trying to get good fuel economy, but if you're expecting anything great, don't. So, because it's rear-wheel drive, it slides so nicely. It also does pretty crazy burnouts even on the road. You don't have to be on a slippery surface like this dirt to get the thing sideways. But I just love how commanding it feels on the road. You really feel nearly invincible. You can just mash it over everything. It's pretty ridiculous. And then having that V8 with that beautiful soundtrack. What other truck can do this? A 3rd gear burnout in a 700 horsepower truck. Unbelievable. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I'm in love with the Raptor R. I think Raptor R over TRX every day. All right, see you next video.